To submit a proposal to the BLM Wild Horse and Burro program for something new and different. And what we were, of the many programs that we submitted ideas for, what we were given money to produce for 2 new national Mustang Championship competitions and an education program. The education program, of which some elements are here in the room, is really to help the American public learn about the horses that we all own. We are creating 5 trade show kiosks that can be shipped across the country to various events. It can be staffed by Mustang Champions. It can be staffed by BLM staff. But the idea is to get people educated, get facts out there, spread the knowledge, spread the passion of what they're doing, what everyone else is doing to try to get horses out of holding and into private care. So the 2 competitions, about 3 years ago, I used to show hunter jumper. And there were competitions, Mustang competitions, that tended to side on Western discipline. And I always felt sorry for people who wrote English competing in those competitions because it was a bit of a struggle to me to watch. So I had this idea of doing something maybe patterned after a 3-day event, but have a lot of demand on the English world. So the English competition is going to be at the Kentucky Horse Park, September 2024. You are going to be able to adopt or purchase your Mustang for competition today. So starting now through June 1 of next year, you have a much larger window in which to go pick the horse you want to compete with. Or find a friend. Find someone that wants a horse. You do not have to be the owner or the adopter to compete, and you can compete with up to 2 horses. So we're trying to change some things around to attract a new crowd. $50,000 top prize, $125,000 total purse. There is going to be money in every class. We want to bring people into the Mustang world. We want to bring a new level of trainer and competitor into the Mustang world because we know the horses are worth it. And we know the horses can perform. And this is going to be a whole new world to spread awareness of American Mustangs. The Western competition is, we're calling the richest in America Mustang competition. Again, $50,000 top prize, $125,000 top purse. It is going to be at South Point Arena in Las Vegas, July 2024. So from the Kentucky Horse Park and South Point, we are intentionally trying to raise the image of Mustangs to be competing in some of the same venues as some of the top national or international competitions take place. Because we know that Mustangs are worth it. They're worth that effort of creating some new competitions and getting new audience. Another component that is very important is we're trying to encourage better training techniques. So we are gathering curriculum, and we want to link off to trainer websites that can help people understand certainly the initial training of gentling, first touch, etc. But then to also continue that training as the horse develops for competition. So it's an opportunity for more coaching as people progress to competition. It's a little different than some of the past Mustang experiences that I've attended or helped produce. We're also going to require that you show your horse prior to qualifying for our competitions. So instead of having first time in arena horses, we want to showcase the Mustang at the highest level possible. So we're going to require, it could be a local show, could be a national show, it could be other competitions associated with Mustangs. You may have heard of Tip Challenge. Tip Challenge would be a perfect horse to qualify for our event. So we're really trying to open up a lot of opportunity for people to come compete, get into the horse Mustang business, which we all know is a fantastic community of people. And yes, we're absolutely supporting each other and trying to help these animals. And we think these competitions are just a new, more exciting way to do it. So come join us. Please contact us with any information you need. If you need to try to find someone that could help you gentle a horse because you have no experience in that, we will work to connect you with someone, hopefully in your area, that can either do that initial gentling or help you go through the process. It's semi-magical. If you haven't done it before, that horse will bond with you. Unlike any experience you may have had with a domestic horse, I don't exactly understand it, but I've witnessed it, and it's fantastic. It's a different horse experience. So come join us. Any questions?
Yeah. Could a professional in the hunter-jumper field participate? I mean, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
You said
So here's the other kind of fun thing that someone mentioned to me the other day. Basically, everyone's working with a $125 horse. Versus in other competitions, you might be competing against people with $250,000 horses, $500,000 horses. Internationally, who knows? I don't know. But this is a kind of a level playing field that's a little different. So for someone who is a professional, I think the money's good enough. I hope they have a barn of people that are interested in doing it. Get a team of people together and come try it.
Well, it's so interesting that you brought this up, because the barn that brought me to South Carolina, they're one of the top hunter-jumper trainers in the South, East Coast, and their daughter now runs it. And I go in and help with some of their horses.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been always trying to encourage her to come and see what we do with her horses. But she's like, no. Because it's tough, mentally. So she just came back from Colorado, I believe, with her sister-in-law. But she went to one of those cold starting, and she was saying to me, I don't know why I'm going, because she grew up from a kid. I mean, she was in the hunter-jumper world. And I know if I told you the name, you know who it is, but I'm not going to bring it up. She came back, and I saw it just before I came here, because she called me to go work with this horse that we work with. And she's a totally changed human being. She is like, oh my gosh, I now understand what you're talking about. Because one of the ladies that runs the barn for her, she came to move a horse of hers. So when I heard you talk about that, and she's now so enthusiastic, but because she has that following and she's a young, well-established rider, it'd be like great to match the two things up together, to draw in, and so.
Well, I've also had the idea of the type of barns that I learned to ride in. There might be 50, 75 school horses. One Mustang in your barn. Put it in your school program. Let some kids work with it. Generally, Mustangs are the size of ponies. There are pony competitions. I've always thought that'd be a great way to get more Mustangs out into a world where a Mustang would not normally be considered as a competition horse.
Can I share one more thing to deal with now? Is it okay?
Yeah.
So, this is Riri, the first, what I call natural horse that I've worked with. I've worked with others, but this one came off, was born wild, never been handled. And it was sort of interesting working with him, because I've always worked in the hunter-jumper business. That was like you, where I grew up mainly, with domesticated horses. And the thing that was great about Mustang was this: they are not tainted by us. They're pure. And once you do it right, they know no fear. They have no. So for me, people from that industry with a domesticated horse, once they feel that, as you call it, magic, it's just incredible. And the other thing that I found was that once they're gentled, for lack of a better word, or they build that trust up, you don't have to have the horse savvy that you have to have with a domesticated horse, because they're tainted by that, what I call the tyrant virus. So it's just fascinating, because I'm sort of like, I don't know if this is an appropriate word, but I'm a virgin to this. And that's what I got from it. And for me, this is a great animal, creature, whatever, to break the cycle of what's happening to kids. There's so many, you know, it just makes me crazy. So it's just, like I said, I'm not a Mustang person. You know, I've just started into venturing down, but it has taken me to a whole new level, personally.
Are there youth?
But you are now a Mustang.
There is no youth competition at the moment. There will be a youth competition at the Kentucky Horse Park that we are not a part of, that will be adjacent to our competition. So I know that that is something that's very important to people. My daughter did youth competition, loved it. I think it's a great way for kids to get engaged with
Now, what's a youth
Mustangs.
competition? It's a, sorry.
So the competition my daughter competed in, it was all in lead line, various classes that you competed for prize money. That was an event
But
called
is it
Mustang
English or
years
Western
ago.
or?
It's in hand.
Pardon
It's
me?
in hand, right?
Yes, in hand. In hand, I wouldn't really consider it either way. It might be a little more Western, just because of the trail pattern.
It was yearly.
But, yeah.
It was yearlings,
Yearlings.
so it has to be yearlings.
No, just that example
Oh.
was in hand yearlings.
But I want colleges to take their equestrian teams and challenge each other.
Yeah.
I really think there's a lot of opportunity here
Yeah.
to have lots of multiple layers of competition. Veterans competing against veterans is a possibility. I mean, I just think there's a lot of potential. This is year one. We want to, get it going. But I think there's a lot of potential to involve a lot of different types of groups potentially.
And one of the events is, what do you call it, arena eventing in the English competition. What is that?
Eventing type course, but in an arena versus an open field.
So a combination of jumping, dressage.
And on the English side, another class we're going to offer is working equitation. I even don't know much about it. I've seen some videos. Very interesting. So we're trying to also, on the English side, whether you're more dressage or jumping, that there are enough class options that you won't feel like, because I don't jump, I can't compete. So that's some of the thinking that we're very intentionally putting into the competitions.
Do you have the information out there ready?
Online,
Okay, good. Sure.
MustangClassic2024.com and MustangChallenge2024.com. Absolutely.
I noticed some questions in one of the online BLM groups that were talking about the competitions, and they were asking about the jumper classes, hunter jumper classes, whatever. Was it more geared toward the jumper type thing where you're just going for speed, or the hunter type, pristine over fences?
And so the final
what do you
rules
think?
have not been released, but we've had a lot of conversation about, is it more hunter or jumper format or
Okay.
a combination.
Okay.
The fences are probably going to be a maximum of 2-3 for both jumping and eventing. People are trying to be, especially year one, very conscious of what the horses can handle in that amount of training time, and present them in the best manner, and make it as competitively correct as possible. And we're very blessed to have 2 advisory boards. We have 2 different groups of experienced Mustang trainers advising us on each competition, and the input has been great.
Is there a list of trainers?
Of the advisory board, it is on the website, for each competition. And please feel free to contact them. Maybe people you know. Yeah.